Been putting this off for about a year now. It's the most dreaded job on the Triton 5.4 liter. Changing the spark plugs. So if you guys know anything about the 5.4 liter, you know the plugs are a beast to take out. Now I dreaded this for about 6 months until I realized in 2008 somebody got smart at Ford and they put a normal spark plug in this thing. The original spark plugs, the electrode was a U-shape, went all the way around the end, and the thread stopped about right here. For some reason this part wasn't threaded. It was a separate like little cone piece that was pressed on or something. So you'd go to unthread it and whoop, that would get stuck. You'd pull the top half out of the plug and this was stuck in there. And you had a special tool where you could snap the porcelain off, then pull it out with a pair of pliers, and then an insert where I think you would crush the rest of it down through the plug into the cylinder, then extract this and try and blow the bits back. And then somebody got the bright idea, hey, let's thread the whole thing and make it a normal spark plug, just stupid long. In mid-year 08, somewhere in there is when they changed. I'm not for sure, but the easiest way to tell is your coil boots. They will be brown. If you have the new, just plain old looking spark plugs like this, they'll be brown boots. The old ones were, I believe, black. Gonna get started by pulling out the air intake tube. I've already loosened up the clamp on the throttle body here. And then you've just got your MAF sensor and 3 clips over here on the filter housing. And this whole thing should come on out. And that will clear up a ton of room for you. Just getting this giant thing out of the way. See how much room that's opened up by taking out that air intake tube. Normally you can't even see down through to the ground, but it's nice and open. You're going to want to do something to try and keep junk from getting in your motor here. I just threw a shopping bag around the opening and wrapped it a couple times with tape. You're going to go back with compressed air and blow out just as much of the dirt as you can before you get going. So we're using Motorcraft SP509 plugs in this. And if you look real closely, stamped in the metal right here, it says Japan. Hopefully that shows up in the camera. I've always had good luck with NGK. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about spark plugs. What have you had good luck with, bad luck with? While you're down there, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like these repair videos. But this is what we're using today. Motorcraft SP509 Platinum. The first step is going to be to unplug the coil. There's just a little tab you squeeze on here when you pull the connector up. And then it's a 7mm bolt that holds it down. Just kind of twist and wiggle this gently and it should come up out of there. There you go, it's out. Now I'm a sucker for tools, so I bought this specialty 9/16 spark plug socket just for this. It's got this little extension built in. It sits almost flush with the head down there. Before I do that though, I'm going to take my air gun and blow it out one more time down in here. I did an overall good blow first, and then I go back in and blow more out. There we go. Now I already did the other bank, and it looks as though they've already been done actually. I bought this with just shy of 90,000 miles on it. And, you know, not knowing any of the history, I thought, okay, I'm pushing 100 now. I'm just shy of, I guess I'm not pushing 100. I've got 95,000 on it. But, you know, I like to change them somewhere between 90 and 100,000 miles. And not knowing the history, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do it. And they were all coming out too easy. Usually this would still be pretty solid because the threads are a mile long on them. You know, it just kind of seemed like it was going too well. And even the boots on these coils, I mean, look how clean that is for the kind of mileage it has on it. 95,000 miles, that looks too clean. And then I pulled the first plug out, and I noticed it's all goopy on the threads. They're all goopy on the threads. It's never sees. And then even on the other end, where the coil plug's on, there's a little dab of dielectric grease on every single one of them. And typically when they're factory plugs, on the very end here, there'll be a dab of paint. Blue paint, yellow paint, some kind of paint. There'll be a little dab on the end of the plug. Now we're going to blow out the hole one more time. I'm going to get all the way down inside the cylinder because a little bit of junk has probably fallen down in there. That might be the top of the piston. Oh boy, the camera just barely caught that there. Clearly the intake valve is open on that one. That's just launched that baby right off there, didn't it? That's funny. Anyway, we'll go ahead and put some anti-seize on these new ones. That feels like it's starting pretty good. Alright, then when it stops, you go an extra, I like to do an extra 1/8 of a turn. So I get it nice and square, where either my ratchet is, you know, pointing straight at the front of the vehicle, or it's pointing straight sideways like this. Somewhere to where you can easily, you know, you got from here to here, well, here to here would be a 1/4 turn. So half of that's going to be an 1/8 of a turn. Somewhere between here and here, that is an 1/8. What am I saying? I'm blah, blah, blah. So this here is a 1/4 of a turn from here all the way up. So an 1/8 of a turn would be halfway from there, you know, from here to here. So just get somewhere where you can easily tell where it's going to be an 1/8 of a turn, and just crank her down. There we go. And you go ahead and throw the coil back in. These were remarkably clean. One more reason why I'm thinking they were done fairly recently. Let's see, gotta get it lined up with the bolt there. Now obviously the front ones are going to be easier, and the farther back you get, they're going to be more difficult just to get to, but they're really not that bad. The plugs that would break off, those were a nightmare. These, in comparison, they're a dream. Now if you're going to run them down with an impact or something like this, just be careful, don't. That's all I do. I barely pull the trigger enough to get it going, and that's it. I don't ram them down to hit on them, just enough to get them run down, then I go back with the ratchet and make sure they're snug. Alright, that one's nice and tight. Take your connector, and you should hear a nice click when you push it down. There you go, and you're done. It's that easy. Thanks for watching. Jump down in the comments below, let me know. You guys ever done the original 5.4 or just any other nightmare plug jobs? What's the worst one you ever did? While you're down there, check out some other videos I got, or subscribe, stick around for a while. If you like these kind of videos, I got some other auto repair videos up, or just, you know, general out in the garage tinkering with stuff. Seems like I'm always messing with something. No, my fat head's probably in the way, isn't it? Yeah.